Hello, welcome to Sunday morning coffee. I haven't just woken up at all, so sorry if this is if you're watching this live, it's a little bit late, but I've slept in again. I slept in yesterday as well. I get up at 5 o'clock every morning, but I've started sleeping in at the weekends because you're supposed to keep the body clock going. So I'll wake up at 5 and then I'm so knackered that I end up snoozing again and not setting an alarm because I think, I won't snooze. I woke up today and went, and it's 9:45, run up. So I do have pyjama bottoms on, but I thought I did quite a good impression of being a human in quite a short amount of time. Running around the house, trying to find all the things I was going to show off. Like, I've got to show them this, make my coffee, my phone's out of charge, find the cable. We're on coffee number 12 today, and the good thing and the bad thing is that I get more comfortable with each one. So yeah, when I used to be like, right, got to get up at 9, prepare myself. And yeah, now I go, 10 minutes will be alright. And then you get me in pyjamas. But I'm here, hooray! Good morning, all of you have come already. I won't read you all out because you're all just mourning doing a chorus. So good morning, everybody. I'm sure you're excited about the big reveal. Chris Nelson, I have something for you. And I also have a boring dream anecdote. This is the punishment. So you get a big reveal of awesomeness, but you have to put up with my dreams beforehand. PonyCon, which I was at yesterday, I will very briefly talk about that because it was the best. And I also have some show and tell. So where shall we start? I think I'm going to start at PonyCon whilst we wait for people to appear. Don't want to go straight into the big news. That'd be spoiling you all. Oh yeah, my boring dream anecdote. I'm very quick with them because I'm aware that nobody cares. When I woke up, which was now half an hour ago, but feels like a minute ago, I'd just woken up from a dream where two festival organisers that I really respected had said that it was time for them to retire and they wanted me to continue being the festival organiser. And I was like, I'm so honoured. I'm so honoured. And then afterwards was like, I can't run bad Squiddo and do all the other things that I do and run 2 major festivals. That's ridiculous. What am I going to do? But I can't let my heroes down. And then woke up, obviously, without being too dream analytical, a sign that I'm really stressed and busy again. Yes, I think I was chilled last week. I'm still pretty chilled considering I've just woke up. But yeah, so I was at PonyCon yesterday, which the UK PonyCon, which as far as I'm aware is the largest of its kind in the UK. There are multiple conventions for My Little Pony fans. Who would have thought? But who would have thought that there are multiple conventions for War Games fans? So it's nice to go into another world. And I went last year because a friend who had helped me out needed some help, so I like the old balancing thing. So I helped him out last year and I was a bit like, oh, I'm not into ponies, dunno. And I had such a good time, so I was like, sign me up for next year. So I did, last year I did 2 days, this year I just did the Saturday because I've got all this, I've got the announcement and then the things attached to the announcement to share with you. So yes, PonyCon is, if you've been to a War Games convention, imagine that, but everyone's selling pony related things. So be them vintage ponies, pony plushies, accessories, artwork, and the the mix of people is a hell of a lot more diverse than the War Game shows, and it's way more colourful. So there's just like tutus and wings all over the place, and everyone is lovely. Everybody, I didn't encounter anyone bad. No, I'm not doing a pony miniatures, sorry everyone, if that's what you're coming along for. I was entirely on a busman's holiday, a working busman's holiday, just checking it out. I like checking out the stands as well. I know other companies do this too. I thought it was just me, go to non-War Games conventions just to get ideas, because seeing how other industries do things is always nice. So whereas my stand's all balloony and silly at War Games convention, it probably would have been quite dull at PonyCon. So yeah, the stand I was working on, we just had rainbow flags everywhere and a million ponies. It was the best. So yes, what I haven't got. Oh yeah, I was going to wear them, but I thought it'd distract everyone to thinking that I was doing a pony release. But I bought these ears yesterday, and they're the best. It was the stand that was next to us, so I said I'll put a link in the bottom of where you can get them, because she was lovely. It was just loads of really lovely people. So there was a lady selling these and little plushy wings. So I've got some ears now. I might wear them to freak people out at trade shows. I also met the East Anglian guinea pig rescue lady in a weird crossover sort of manner. I put a donation to her. I normally donate to Gleneath Guinea Pig Rescue, but aside from the Bad Squiddo donations, this summer, loads of guinea pigs all over the country were dying because it was just too hot and it was becoming a nightmare. And in a moment of madness, I used, not Bad Squiddo money, I personally bought this lady an air conditioning unit. So she met me and she was well happy. I'm aware this is in reverse, but she gave me a big hug and a little note. I think I put the note on my story. I was like, oh my god, says I've literally saved piggy lives. Yes, mission accomplished. And that was lovely. I love meeting other guinea pig people because of course I did that one small thing, but she dedicates her life to them. So it's all awesome guinea pig people being awesome, which is excellent. Right, 46 of you. Shall I tell you? No, I'm going to have my first sip of coffee because I haven't had any today and I really need it. I went to see Grace Pertry on Wednesday and I picked up, amongst other things, this mug, which again, I know it's in reverse, but says, "You never will surrender to a narrow view of gender." So that's Annie's mug display of the week. And she was amazing. And does a good mug too. So. Morning, all these people that have just joined in. Oh, loads of people today. You have succumbed to my clickbait. Yes! I'm going to do this every week. Announcement, we can only buy stuff from Bad Squiddo if wearing fairy wings, calling it now. No way, I'll take money from anyone, even if you crawl in along the floor covered in dung. If you've got money for me, I'll take it. Morning, everyone else that's just joined. Drink. I'm so tense myself. What if I tell you and you go, oh, that's it? I like this live thing, it's good, isn't it? So let's taunt you a bit more. Got some new stuff that arrived yesterday, so I picked it up as I got back from the PonyCon. The PonyCon was so lovely, and then as soon as we left, there were just people beeping horns and taking pictures of us. What morons. I'd like to live in PonyCon world all the time. It'd be much nicer. There we go. So, this isn't a reveal. This isn't a reveal. It's not. I'm not a horror film with a false scare. This is just other cool. They're mini reveals and then a big reveal. This was a surprise to me. The caster. I gave him a whole load of stuff. Went just take it, put it into resin one day. Take it all. I don't want anyone else to do my resin. And I forgot all the stuff I've given him. So when he did the capybara for me the other week, I was like, oh, I didn't know you had a capybara. And there's another one. Didn't know you had Baggy with a Squiddo launcher. Remoulded and better than ever. Check him out, he's back. He's been requested a lot. Oh. So he comes in 2 bits there, that's what that line is. Morning Ian, glad you're watching from your car. You don't know what the reveal is for once. I don't think so, I don't think I told you. Whoop whoop. So yeah, that just plops on there. He's back in production! Woo woo! Another piece of resin that has arrived. You may have seen, but as always, they always look so much better when they're cast. So you're aware of Ristal, who might be watching, I'm not sure. If not, whatever. Hello Ristal! he sculpts in all sorts of stuff, which is one of the reasons I really like him. So he just adds bits and bobs. So you saw that weird beaded stuff I put up the other day, but it does mean that it's hard for your brain to process it as one object. So once they're cast, they look even better. So these are little defence. I'm not sure what the exact word is for them, but ooh, that's the right way. Yeah, little defensive posts. Not palisades, is it? But even though, yeah, they're just spikes. No, they're not. Look at all those little details. Little bags, rocks, ropes. The rope just sort of dangling down there. Skulls. There's 4 separate pieces that you get. So they're got a little shield on. That'd be good for, even though it's got a shield, hey, it was Palisade. Chris Nelson does it again. There we go. So there's 4 pieces. I can't show them off too great with this, but you can use them for your medieval, your ancient, your fantasy, your zombie defense. Also, if the Night King and his army of the dead are approaching, you can also use it. So they're new resins. Boop, boop. I have more coffee. Then I will show 54. This is a record. I'm just going to keep going forever. Did you hear about my other dream? I'm being mean. So, this is what I've promised for the last few weekends. This isn't the reveal, but this is the bofas and all the stuff. So I was supposed to have assembled it in time for you, and I haven't because I slept in. So we've got the such like of, so that's seed. So these are casts, not 3D prints. These are casts, straight out the mould. So this is sitting down, cup of tea lady. Look at that. And she does really sit everywhere. So if you saw from when I had the print, I was just popping her around everywhere going, there you go. Gotta sit and have a cup of tea. There's a cool little story, so I'm glad Chris Woofenden, is here, because he is part of the tale. You didn't miss the announcement, Tom. I am dragging it out like an awful YouTuber person. But also wait until Max people come. So this, again, these are casts. They're not the prints, they're casts. Wee. As always, and they're going, you just see my face going, where? Well, yes, how crisp they are. So it's all in resin. So traditionally, well, historically, women aren't allowed to fire the bofas. They're only allowed to do everything else, but they're not allowed to fire. Because women are supposed to give life, not take it. It was, as well as the not sexist, ingrained, sort of historically sexist views at the time of women in Britain anyway. They're saying, oh, women shouldn't be doing that sort of thing. It was also the PR of it all, so they were worried that it would look bad if we had women shooting guns, like we were desperate or something. Imagine that. Meanwhile, in Russia. So we have it for selection. Will they be available for the 23rd of November? Not sure. Probably not in time for you to have it by then, but we shall see. So these are the dudes. Sorry, they're not the best pictures. So these are the dudes that do the firing. So they come attached to their seats. So I'll show you one, then I can show you a bit better. So they're on each side, so that's the little handle. And that just joins straight onto the machine. And that pokes up the bum. Yeah, it's like, it was the whole troops they didn't like the idea of. SOE somehow a bit different, but still, I guess because it was so necessary. We've got Also, in case you're playing pulp gaming or that whole very British Civil War or anything like that, Operation Sea Lion, we got women as well. So the women were, they're allowed to test it, basically, just not fire at anyone. So I thought it can still be historical if we've got women firing there, we can pretend that they're testing them out. So there's one, so basically you can have 2 women firing, or you can have 2 men firing, or a mixture. Because of the little little poke up the bum, you can even have it so you can swap them out regardless of what you're playing. So there's that. And then the fun bit. So I showed off, can't remember which one it was now because it doesn't matter. I think it was this one I showed off this week. Come on. So I put a post of her up, if not her friend, and it went all over the internet and everyone said, "That's magnificent, shut up and take my money," and I was all excited. I'm still excited, the casting on these, I'm like trying to get as close with being sharp. It's immense. So yes, I'm going to take a sip of coffee before the tale, but I posted one of these up anyway, and I was all excited. But then, drinking my coffee, sorry, I'm not going to apologise, I need to wake up. I haven't even got to this big reveal yet, that's the, what if I show you all the cool stuff and then the big reveal isn't as exciting as the other stuff? But I think it will be. So, I posted this up. I haven't even shown you the gun yet. And Chris Swiffenden, if you're watching, Godspeed, he noticed that, hang on, that that middle bar isn't supposed to be there. And because this whole thing it's been the most expensive project so far, and it's all been checked, signed off, I went, what? So I had a panic, looked around, looked through my books and went, oh bugger. The sculptor replied with bollocks, so it was all very, very British and polite. But yeah, that bar isn't supposed to be there. It's part of, I figured out what happens, it's on the gun, actually that'll make more sense if I show you it. It's the bars that hold the cartridges in as they're being fed. So here's the actual gun piece. Morning, Bruce! So that's part of the gun. But the sculptor, I'm very clear to not blame the sculptor because it's my responsibility. I've just been so busy that I just sort of went, yeah, that's all good. And good old Chris noticed it. But yeah, he's copied that bar into all the other places and none of us have noticed. But to be fair, Chris was the only person out of thousands to notice. So, although I was initially very grumpy about it, didn't mean to take it out on you, Chris. I was annoyed at myself. It's actually saved the day because, sorry, my brain runs out quite a lot. It saved the day because if that had gone out and I'd started shipping them and got them painted up and all that, and then noticed it, it would have been way worse. So it's frustrating, but I don't think it'll put the production back. They've already been fixed, so basically anywhere where there's little ammo there, he's already done it, printed it and sent it to the caster, so they're remoulding that as soon as possible. So that bar basically has just been taken off everywhere, so it has been fixed, which is good. And a few people were like, just leave it. No! This is a lovely, lovely kit. It's not the case of, oh, that rivet should have been over there. It's a huge, huge error. So thank you, Chris. I am really, really grateful for you pointing it out. And yeah, so like, I'm just going to quit and run away. So I can't show you the full bofas because we've got, haven't assembled it, but I can show you all the bits and just how clear they are. That's the base of it. It's a really fun kit. So the way he's made it, so you can play with it. So you can, where am I looking at? So you put the wheels in. There we go, that wheel there. So you can put them so the wheels are down, or so the wheels are up, and it's using the little rester thing. So the wheels can be up or down. It's got all the little details, like, oh yeah, that goes in that. So the little, it's just all these little bits and bobs. I will obviously put a picture up as soon as I've assembled one, which may be today. What have I got to show? So that goes, where's the, oh damn it, Annie! I had a piece. I might one moment I've missed some stuff, I'll go and grab it, because there's loads of people here. The big reveal is coming very soon, and just give me a sec, I'll get some more Bofors bits. Coming back. Whoop. Hello. So I thought there's not much Bofors there. I went, oh yeah, there's another bag of bits. I can move the camera down in a sec and try and move past my pyjama bottoms and just give you a little tour of it. What's that? So this is a one-piece casting. How crazy is that? Oh, that's not on there. It's just random fluff. There we go. Yeah. So as well as the gun, there are these little extra bits. So we've got some ammo boxes, which the lady fits on very nicely, as well as sitting on everything in the world. So, whoop. So she's just having a bit of a chill. It's a long business doing this. Oh no, she was in there. It's hard holding it and getting it in focus. So it's not just the gun, it's the gun, the crew, and basically a mini diorama. So we've got another ammo box. And this is what made that. I thought I had food on my mouth. As well as the error with the holding the ammo case, they're in these as well, so these needed resculpting. So yeah, that's all been changed in the final bits. As soon as I've got a picture, basically, I'm going to put them up for pre-order. I just wanted to make sure that you knew they were to be in the fixed. And I was really careful how I said it, because I didn't want to say, oh, there's been like a casting problem or something. It was a sculpting oversight that I buggered up on. But yeah, so those little middle bits will be gone. I'll show you the kit. This is where, oh, she sighs. It's because it's plugged in here, and I've got to unplug. Oh gosh, you're gonna, and then try and do it so you can't see the nightmarish realm of my house. What do I press? That one? So, there's all the stuff on my table. Just so you get a bit of an idea of what the kit's got. Sorry, Amazons, you were last week's news. Although I still have yet to put the photos up. Again, all the fluff is this flock from when I was doing my pigmobile. So this is the whole kit. Sorry, Baggy, you're not in the kit. You are in the kit. You're also in the kit. So this is the whole kit, basically. It doesn't look very attractive at the moment as I've thrown it all down. But you get a lot of stuff. Oh no, dressing. Oh no. So yeah, all that, obviously that's the little sights that clip on. It's quite self-explanatory, but I'll put a little guide on assembly as well, just in case. Because I'm the sort of person that'd mock that up. So yeah, that's all the Bofors kit. And it will be up for pre-order in the next few days. Hopefully Monday, which is tomorrow. Yay. Yeah, just a few more bits. So there are the little wheels. Will you focus or will you not? There you go. The wheels. That's just a bit. Yeah. Anything that looks like an imperfection is just a bit. So yeah, I've just brushed that off. Oh, come on. Come on, focus. Come on. There we go. Wow. Hard focus. And I'm just like, what else is on my floor? So whilst we're in that, oh god, no! This room's currently a tip. So there we go, there's the gun part. It moves into focus, hard focus on the background when I move away. You can see all the grim. Let's try. There we are. So yeah, this stream's totally going to be more than half an hour. But yes, there's some Bofors goodness for you. And it will be out for pre-order. I need to price it up still. Where are we? Rotate me. There I am! Yes, once I put some photos up, you'll see just how lovely it is. As always, just got to plug the phone back in, juggling a million things. So, here we go. I'm back. I think I've got through all of the things before the big reveal. And we are on max people, a world record of Sunday morning coffee viewers. Hello everyone, whether you have just arrived or have been here from the start. I will finally tell you the thing. Oh, will I? I will. It's totally amaze balls, although I've never used that word ever, Bruce, but it really is. It is so lovely. It's the crispness of it as well. It's lovely. Stop playing with it. Yep, no flash, no bent bits, because I know that people were concerned about the gun, because they were like, "Ooh, resin, shouldn't you have it in metal?" Nope, entire kit is resin, and the techniques and the resin that my people use are the top. That's why even something as simple as these are still cast. They're cast with the same technique and level as the Bofors and as Freya. Good morning, Mother. Yes, your jumper is lovely, thank you. I don't steal clothing off my mother at all. Oh, I feel pressure now. Gonna show you this grand reveal on this very rainy and grey Sunday morning. For me personally, and not Squiddo, although it's pretty much the same thing, this is the most exciting thing of my year. It is. Just thinking, is there anything else that's just offended? Somebody at PonyCon yesterday said, this is the best day of my life. I went, oh, that's brilliant. Yeah, even more so than my wedding day. Well, don't tell your partner. I'm finishing this coffee because I know I'm going to monologue, and then yeah, it'll be cold and it'll help me like live. I'm so nervous now. You're all hanging on to this this grand reveal, and I could just say I'm off to work on an oil rig. I like that as my new phrase. Sod it all, I'm off on the rig. Sorry, everyone. The tension. The tension. Da, 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 da. Are you ready? Hi, David, in Japan. Woo. It's only 66 plus, you know, and more people are coming now. Da, 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 da. The coffee is gone. I can stall you no longer. I'm going to sit up. I don't actually have anything to show for the reveal, so you're just going to have to listen. God. November the 24th, probably. She's doing another Kickstarter, which you probably realised is quite close to the last Kickstarter that I did. But I actually came up with this idea during the live last weekend. That's how quick this has all happened. I was saying about the difference between Kickstarter and standard releases, and also how I'd like to do more World War II but didn't have the funds to do World War II. And as I was talking to you, my brain was going do, 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 do. So I actually had the Mum, stop riling the crowd up. I'm getting there. So I actually was supposed to today announce something entirely different, which is a really good project, but that's going to be next year now, because this project has got me more excited than anything else that I've been excited about for ages. So I'm going to do it now. It is a Kickstarter for the Homefront World War II. I have been dropping many hints all week in a little, bait and switch. It's going, I've got a really big announcement coming on Sunday. Also, here's all this World War II research that I am apparently doing for no reason at all. So it's going to be, there's a lot more to do to it than just it's all Homefront Kickstarter. It all came out of my brain from last Sunday when I was talking about the difference between Kickstarter releases, pre-orders. The Bofas, just to get that out there, the Bofas is going to go on release. I'm going to do the proper announcements, the sort of, for all those people that don't come to this, I know, who wouldn't be here? I'm going to do the proper announcement probably tomorrow, which will also tie in with the Bofas pre-order, because pretty much Chris Nelson has been mentioned in conversations with my caster, because I didn't want the people that were really excited about the Bofas and then the big announcement to be, oh, the Bofas actually you can't get till the Kickstarter's fulfilled. That'd suck, because I know there's quite a few people really desperate for it. So, it's a comment. So, let me get my brain clear. That'll never happen. Yes, the Bofas will be up for separate pre-order, basically. So that'll be up tomorrow. So you can pre-order that and almost certainly have it for Christmas, especially if you're in the UK. Obviously, the further away you are, the longer it'll take to get there. So I can't guarantee, but you should still be able to get your Bofas for Christmas. And the Kickstarter, which will be running from the 24th of November, put that in your diaries. That will have loads of Homefront stuff. The Bofas will be in there as well, but also in bundles. But I need to do the maths and I'll figure it out so that if you get the... if you pre-order the Bofas now, basically it won't screw you over if you're doing the Kickstarter. So I need to figure out a way to sort of mitigate that. Because obviously I make it so the mega deals are the best. And that'll have everything in it, including the Bofas. But I don't want you to think, oh, that mega deal's really good, but I've already got the Bofas. So I will do something, and it'll depend on how many I sell on pre-order anyway. If it's just a few of you, I'll just PM you and sort something out. Almost as if like you get your Bofas earlier. So don't worry about that. Basically, Bofas you can get for Christmas. But this Kickstarter, let me tell you all about it. That would be a good coffee sip if I haven't downed it all. So what's going to be in it? Oh, where do ping pong balls feature? I'm going to tell you actually. I think it might be too big. They haven't come yet. But I need to look at that. I was hoping that they'd work as a weather balloon, the meteorological balloon. Because otherwise we're going to have to cast a ball of resin, and even though it's resin, they're still relatively, although I'm picking Baggy up, he's about that size, but they're still relatively heavy to sort of balance on a small contact point. I thought ping pong balls might be perfect, but I don't know, so the sizing, yeah, I think they're too big, but it depends how big the balloons get, so I need to look at all that. So the nature of the Kickstarter. This, again, all came from the ramblings from last Sunday. Normally, when we run a Kickstarter, we have all the miniatures sculpted, we have everything master cast, and the Kickstarter is pretty much just for the production moulds. This time, it's going to be for the whole lot, so the target's probably going to be a lot higher. No, not barrage balloons, they're the bigger one. I thought about that as well, but I'm not sure how that'd fit in. If there's a demand for it, of course, I'll be up for that. But yeah, this, by the time it launches, we may have the odd bit mastercast, but it's going to be greens, photos of greens, and sketches, like Kickstarters once were. So I figured I've built up enough goodwill and good rep that you can trust me with this, because I know how terrifying it is when there's a Kickstarter and they have nothing to show, or it's renders or something. I've always tried to make it so there's stuff to show you. So for this, the bits that you can see will obviously be the proof from the previous home front releases. So the Land Army, Women's Home Defence, or the ATS. And it's using the same sculptor. So same sculptor, same caster, so you'll get a good idea, even if it's just, this is the name of the unlocked unit. You know it's going to be good. Rob McFarlane, who is new to us, he did the entirety of the Bofors. He will, sorry, my brain, keep reading the comments. He's our digital sculptor. He is up for doing a couple of bits, so if it's basically a bit more like machinery and stuff like that, he might do. Web balloons are quite underinflated to have a pear-shaped, ball and resin lower. No, there's loads of photos and they're basically just a perfect sphere, I guess just as they're about to launch or something, so I need to look at that. Yeah, barrage balloons, they could be a stretch goal. So what we're doing is, and I'm really excited about this, because normally, because we'll have it, say everything will be master moulded, and then as the Kickstarter goes on, people get excited and go, oh, could you do this? And I'm always like, yeah, but not for the Kickstarter, because that'd involve getting one more sculpt, then getting that put into a master, then production mould, which ends up costing a load more just for that one stretch goal. But this time, it's going to be way more fluid. So you are going to get say in what you get. So it's going to be full of polls and ideas, just keeping it really fluid, which is why I've started polling. I put a poll on Baggy's Cave and on the Operation Sea Lion group, just to get everyone's ideas. As always, just because you put an idea doesn't mean that I'll auto do it, but it could spark something off where I go, yes. So whoever it was that posted the ATS with the bunny last week, that is totally happening. We're getting ATS with a bunny. Oh my god. I'm trying to figure out how to put guinea pigs into it as well. So I think I might have a little evacuee with their box and a little guinea pig poking out because they've had to take their guinea pig with them. I have a ridiculously large collection of World War II, especially women in World War II books, and they're all over my living room at the moment. So this week, any time that I've not been packing orders or sorting out day-to-day stuff, I've been researching like a champ, which is where a load of these photos have been coming from. No casserole, Chris. Talk like that and you won't get a Bofors or blacklist you. Like Amish Kapoor, everyone can buy Bofors apart from you. That would be very cruel of me. So, one of brain. What was I talking about? Polls. Oh, a guinea pig in a tiny little helmet. Yeah, so what will be in the Kickstarter, I guess? Yeah, so I've been researching like a champ. By the end of today, I'm having the solid initial what we're going to do. So the sculptor's going to be sculpting away. He's amazing. It's Alan who's done all the other World War II, apart from the Bofors. He's going to... Sorry, brain. I like doing troops. Or general people rather than characters. Because I feel like when you focus on a famous character, it makes them feel like an anomaly. So, like with the Soviets, there's, I can never pronounce it correctly, Pavlichenko, or something like that, super sniper with loads of kills. So when you mention Soviet snipers, everyone goes, yeah, her, like, yeah, but there were actually loads. So she's really cool, because she's really good, but it makes it sound like she's an anomaly, rather than there being lots. So yeah, what are we going to do? You get to say, so suggestions in here are always fine, I'll go back and scroll later. If you're in Baggy's Cave, a vote on there. If you're not in Baggy's Cave, join Baggy. Just type Baggy's Cave into Kickstarter, not yet, into the Facebook thingamy. that is our group, and there's a poll in there. Also the Operation Sea Lion group I'm using as a bouncing idea thing. Because of my mega fail, which Chris Woofenden has pointed out, I will be running the sculpts past you and all that sort of thing. Whereas normally, yeah, it's like, here, they're done. This time it would be like, that's alright, isn't it? Does that go there? Yep, cool. So you get to be way more involved, which is what's really excited me, because I think that's what Kickstarter is supposed to be. It's not that pre-order, it's let's get an idea, let's all join together as a gang and get this produced, and we can add crazy stuff along the way, and it's a fun event, and that's what's getting me excited. And also, like, I've really wanted to do a big expansion on the home front, all the World War II to be honest, but I'm choosing home front this time, to really just give it that big boost. So, oh yeah, we've got wrens, we got wafts, we got lumberjills, definitely evacuees, purely so I can have one with a little guinea pig out of the little box of worldly possessions. Yes, the Operation Sea Lion group is good. If you're into that, you should go join over there. Or if you're thinking, these minis sound fantastic, but what would I play them with? Go in there and you'll get some ideas, and the people are lovely. What else have I been looking at? The Queen is definitely going to be a thing. How much should I give away? This is it. Normally it's all a bit of a hush-hush, but now I can just throw loads of ideas at you. Dispatch riders, Wren's dispatch riders, pigeons. I'm trying to figure out how to put pigeons in there. So the Waves, which are the American version, they were all looking after the pigeons, and it was all over the place. Pigeons all over the place. Loads of photos of women and pigeons. In the UK, not so much. I found a few pictures of ATS with pigeons, but I think it's more of them sort of larking about rather than being involved. So I imagine that there were women looking after the pigeons, but I don't think they were, I don't think they were training them or anything. But again, more information on that, because I really want to do pigeons, so if I have to chuck some dudes in with the pigeons, then I'll do that too. But I also think you can put dispatch riders delivering, or like riders delivering pigeons. So I've got loads of photos of the little pigeon crates and stuff. So that'd be cool. Yes, Princess Elizabeth, rather. Yes, she was an ATS mechanic. I even found a picture of her and the Queen Mum, who was Queen at the time. So that I'm all about vignettes, so I want to do loads of vignettes. But that was also what I was asking in the poll, whether because other than things like the lumberjills where they can all have their axes, that'd be cool. A lot of them, I don't know if you'd be using them as sort of main character type things or just scenery. So whether to have sort of individual models, or I'm kind of going to try and do them so they can work individually, like the picnic. They can work individually, but they also make a little scene by themselves. Because a lot of them are they were all non-combatants. Sorry, my brain. I'm looking at all these ideas while also talking. Yeah, just doing cool stuff. With the Wrens, there's a lot using various like equipment, so I've got to figure out how you can put them into games in quite a short amount of time. So stuff that looks cool, but has also got a good use. So there's loads of cool boat stuff, but do people use boats? I don't know. Again, I want all your feedback of what would be cool, what games they'd be cool with, what sort of units in the games that you play. Orcs fire engines. Yeah, I was well up for doing fire crew because there's some amazing pictures, and then I was disappointed by finding out that there weren't any female firefighters in the UK anyway. There were either trains. There was a lot of trained firefighters, but they actually didn't use them. But they were all trained up, so there's some really cool training pictures. And I went, no, that. Some more Land Army stuff. Yes, I'm going to do more Land Army stuff. I am talking to Sarissa. Let's put all the pressure on Sarissa about doing some little tie-in vehicles, but I need to hound them about that, because obviously I've gone, hey everyone, let's do a thing really quickly. So we'll see what they say about that. I will be adding in their radar station, so there'll be some ladies sort of that you can pop out and about there. Yeah, definitely the weather balloon, and there's a little item thing that you can look at. Obviously, there's going to be an amount where I go, this is the Kickstarter, but as it flows, I might even do it for longer than usual. I'm not sure yet. There's stuff that would be great, but not in the original wave. That can be stretch goals, so it can actually work like that. So I'm excited to do a pure Kickstarter in its purest form. What have I got in the little... all the stuff like the comms I think are cool, but I don't know what you'd do with them. Would you... unless you put them inside buildings, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, the plotters I think are cool, but I don't know what... because if you think about it, it's a model, a set that's not got as much use. But there's a lot of figures in it, so it'll cost me a lot to make. Whereas for that amount of money, I could make a whole unit of something. So amongst the super excitement, I've also got to make sure that it's viable and, you know, continues with the company being alive and all that. Horsey ladies, yes, I'm going to look at getting some heavy horses sorted to work with the Land Army, and maybe even probably as a stretch goal, Land Army riding them, because I found some really cool photos of that. Stuff that fits around the Land Army as well. I'm going to tell you about something that I've had sculpted, and look, I told you I'd gone a monologue. Something I've had sculpted and haven't told you about, and is going to be part of the Kickstarter by Ristal. He's done me a chicken coop and a whole load of chickens, and so you can get a pack of chickens that like goes in size like that, or you can get the coop which has got all the little bits around it, and yeah, obviously as a kit as well. And with the existing Ristal stuff, that's a whole farm. So a whole farm, pigs and chickens though. That's a good setup for your farm. So I want to do some Land Army that will tie in with that. Obviously they can just be around digging or whatever, but maybe a Land Army one carrying the chicken along. In the photos I've been compiling, I've got like shearing sheep, a rat catcher, where that will please Chris Nelson and his taste for blood. There's a really cool picture of a Land Army lady just with a string of dead rats around her going, I've got all the rats! So all that sort of stuff. Hopefully next week I'm going to go down to Imperial War Museum and National Army Museum, see if there's any more cool stuff that I can find. But basically my deadline is, by the end of today, I have to have a fairly solid plan. So this is a lot of work to go to the sculptor, because you can't just say to him, can I have some waff please? I have to give him the poses. If there's any dollies we need making, they have to go decide and have to sketch out the poses, all that sort of, the poses, the details. So if there's something that's really common, we get them sculpted up straight away and mastered. So, you know, things like helmets maybe, or weapons. If there's something that's reoccurring, or basic poses, all that sort of stuff, that can get mastered straight away. What else? Without promising, because I need to figure it out, I'm hoping to be able to do a pledge level where you can get your relatives sculpted. So if you've got a photo or a description or stuff like that, it can have your mum, nan, etc. made into a miniature that will then be added to the range as well, and it will be titled as, you know, so I'm just looking at the first name, Mrs. Gillian's turkey raiser or something, so that can be added in, which I think's cool. So it's all going to be a bit of a whirlwind to get all this ready in time, but we figured out that was it November everyone's gone now. I've done my cool thing. But I don't know what I was saying. What was I saying? November, yes, because we have to do it then, because if it's a bit later it goes into Christmas, when it's New Year, that's the whole thing and nobody buys anything, and then it's Salute. So by doing it now, there's a good chance that it will be done, fulfilled and available at Salute. I'm going to look into, because I'm going to base it on Homefront to give it some grounding, but if if it goes well, I really want to do some SOE and sort of just do people that have branched out. I've already been looking at Caribbean women, but again, trying to keep it in the UK. I was then researching about women from the Caribbean that had paid themselves to come over because they were helping over there and they wanted to help in the UK. So they were in the WAF, the ATS and the nursing services. So I've got some amazing photos of them. So that will add more. I just love educating people with my minis. So that will be added in there as well. Especially when people start, well, inevitably some people will go, shoehorning people in. Like, no, they were there. And obviously, as historically, they weren't treated the best after the war. So to be able to educate about that is also great. I will be adding in critters somehow. I don't know how yet. I'm totally in love with Smokey the war dog. But she's in America, but I might just make her anyway as a stretch goal. If you see, I've been posting her everywhere. She's a little Yorkie in a helmet. She's so cute, doing the cutest blap in the world. So yeah, I've probably gone way over. What is the time? It's weird that it doesn't actually tell me the time there. Keep putting your feedback and stuff, as well as feedback for Sarissa, because they are very persuasible. So the more ideas and the more that you thumb up other people's ideas, I can also pester them. But yes, this is 11:05. I've gone way over, but that's fine. So yes, if you've just joined or whatever, the big reveal was a Kickstarter, 24th of November, very fluid. I will be hovering for ideas, probably a lot today as well, so if you're around on the internet, I'll be, again, that meme of the lady and all the maths figures coming around, that is going to be me for a while, just trying to figure everything out. So if I've got the odd little question, I'll be popping them up around, and if it's okay if I PM some of you as well, just going, help, what am I to? So yeah, when I got frustrated before with the error that I'd made, because I thought I am worked to the bone basically. I work and sleep and then do a ponycon and then sleep. I was gonna watch Went the Day Well last night and I just fell asleep, so that'll be on. I might watch it a few times today and have it on in the background. But yes, I should go. Goodbye, Ewan, and thanks for your inputs and stuff as well. Yep, so if you're in, join Baggy's Cave and join Operation Sea Lion group as well if you're interested in these minis. And I will be filling up with information. But yeah, it's really nice to be able to talk about stuff, not go, ooh, that's a secret, even though I was doing that all the way up till now. Because we can do this together as a project, and that's what I think is really cool. So I will go and I will get to my research and have some breakfast, because that would help, and actually get dressed and I'll just go, oh, I woke up with 15 minutes to go to the thing. So yeah, there'll be lots. If you've joined too late, don't worry, this will be on almost immediately back on the Kickstarter page for the Facebook page for rewatching. As soon as I've finished it, and then I'll upload it to YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube later, hello! And you'll be able to watch it, and you can still put comments, so I'll be coming back and checking the comments as well. Usual end of stream, boring bits. If you're on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, follow our stuff. It's important and it really helps. It helps just get stuff out, and I've been really sneaky at putting sneak peeks on the Instagram stories as well, which also turn into Facebook stories. So I put little bits of info everywhere, so the more places you follow us, the better. And join our newsletter. If you go on the website and at the bottom there's a subscribe bit, and I'm trying to put way more regular newsletters up as well, which will also have loads of infos. So go sign up to that, and there's going to be competitions in there too. Right, well, I am glad that you like the breaking news, and that I've been sneaky and actually told you it like all week, just been throwing it in your face without you realising that was the enormous thing. Yes, I will see you around on the internet, and yes, home front stuff. Cheers, see you around, bye!